Hi! Haha! Welcome out!
Reach for the sky.
Hello, dear bloomer.
Well, hello there.
The day has come, and
Yes,
this is the official behind the scenes video for the making of the new Bloom album.
Yeah, and we're really excited to have you, dear bloomer, with us here. And well, Josh eats his organic food. So can we love and give up what we're hiding? Put away our armor and our swords.
You've been waiting for this album, but I don't think you can even imagine how long we've been waiting for this album. Like
Yeah,
the
totally.
feeling that we've had. I mean, just the mixing and mastering process alone has taken months. And, you know, these songs were essentially written, some of them years ago, some of them like half a year ago at this point, you know.
Yeah.
In January, we kind of finished writing most of it, so...
We've been preparing for this.
Yeah, we're really, really excited to get this in your hands and in your ear holes. Thank you for supporting us and supporting Bloom and making this happen, because it wouldn't have happened without you. If you're watching this, this would not have happened without you specifically. So thank you so much for making our dream come true.
Seriously, there's been many nights where we were like, oh my gosh, where we were just we were either stressed or we were done. And because when you're working on something worthwhile, it's typically a lot of hard work. And you guys were the ones that kept motivating us to continue on.
We had this idea that we would get the album done in November. I knew that we wouldn't, but I was hopeful.
Love is everywhere. I don't know the words at all.
I don't know, the album just started taking shape into something really special, so we wanted to really take our time with it instead of just getting it done and out like we could have. So
we know that you guys liked our first album, which was its own really cool, fun adventure, and we wanted to give you guys something that was more of an interpretation of our growth the last few years. And that took more time, and even when we didn't realize how much time it was going to take, it's enveloped. Enveloped?
enveloped.
Enveloped. It's bloomed into something grand. And so thank you, though, for your patience.
This is a momentous occasion, my bull. You see here, we have a very long list of things we must check off. If you know what I mean. Say it with me once. Check off. Check off. Check off. Up until this point, we have not had any progress made on this list. However, that all changes right now, and you, my boy, are a part of it. Do you see it okay?
I see it.
You see it right there?
I got it.
Right here. Wait, what should we do? Check mark?
No.
Circles? X's? Should we put a bloom?
If you put an X.
With that one?
I don't know.
Here we go. First one. Boom. Here's why you're watching this video. One, because you're awesome. Number two, we're gonna give you a breakdown. Breakdown of the
Bloom breakdown.
Okay, I'll stop. Sorry. We're gonna give you a Bloom breakdown on the entire album, and we're gonna talk about the songs, what they mean to us, and it's stuff that we always love hearing from other bands that we love, and so we figured we'd do the same for you guys.
I'm so
Oh my god!
I'm sorry.
Oh my god. The theme of Aftermath is something that I experience all the freaking time, and I can't imagine I'm the only one who feels this way. I have this unholy obsession with cosmic and eternal significance. My legacy, the legacy that I leave, the life that I lead, has to be so epic that like the entire world transforms and the entire world changes. It's this grandiose image of the result of my life, and it's essentially impossible to live up to. Even if it was possible, my obsession with my eternal significance rids me of the opportunity to enjoy the present moment and for all of the beauty that it has to offer. And Aftermath is it's like, it's a reminder to myself, getting rid of the obsession with the aftermath of my life and just being right here, right now, and diving headfirst, fully immersed into the present moment and just soaking it up for everything that it has to give and everything that I have to give to it, and letting that be enough, letting the present moment be enough.
So when we first started approaching writing this record, we had a come from that was pretty unique into our previous writing experiences, whether it's in Bloom or out of Bloom.
We wanted to create something that was really immersive, something that you heard, you were transported into the feeling. And so we kind of created a blueprint for the entire album. We were sitting around the table. We didn't think about how many songs we were going to have. It wasn't anything like that. It was just, what are the emotions that we really want people to experience? And we wanted to give you a vehicle for experiencing those emotions fully.
So the first song of the album, Reach for the Sky! Months and months ago we sat down and I had a keyboard here and Joshua was sitting on that chair right over there. And this was right after the Kickstarter, and he's like, dude, let's hear some of the new stuff you've been kicking around. And so I played him this song, and I start, and he's like, dude, you've got like 3 choruses in this song.
It's very true.
Which was,
and then the one
and then the other one was, let's reach for the sky.
We ended up keeping 2 of them.
Yeah,
so and actually, if you're savvy, you can hear the There's one part in the song where the piano plays that riff. How about that?
So what's the song about?
If I were to summarize the song, because I like leaving room for interpretation of your own experience. When I wrote it, what it meant to me was most of the actions that we take are in avoidance of death. We eat food so we don't die. We sleep so we don't die. We don't talk to strangers. We're afraid of being rejected, and our fear of rejection stems from our fear of our mortality most of the time. Because back when we were in tribes, if we were rejected by the tribe, we would die. We spent a whole lot of time thinking about and fearing death, and it debilitates us in some ways. It prevents us from reaching for the sky, if you will. I don't know what happens when we die. I don't pretend to know. But whenever I find myself making choices based on my fear of the consequence of death, I think about how when I die, I won't feel death the way that I think I'll feel it now. So the fear of death, in some sense, isn't actually anything to be afraid of. And perhaps in some other ways it is, but to let the fear of death hold you back from achieving everything that it is that you desire and going for your dreams and reaching for the sky, I think is a tremendous fallacy on our behalf, and it's an under investigated fallacy that we often let run our lives.
Liar, 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 gonna burn in a fire.
People wonder how Bloom comes up with their lyrics, and really this is kind of how
This is how we go. We get some chord progression. Here, I'll get one. Go ahead.
Need a girl to rule their world.
If you don't have a girl, boy,
take all the time that you spend in your mind and unravel.
So Cloud Atlas was a song that it had been in the Bloom Vault for years, actually. And years ago, I put together a little pre-production album that some of the other songs have come from and made it on here too, in terms of like the core idea, which they evolved and evolved and evolved into something totally different when they actually came onto this record. But Cloud Atlas was just this little guitar tune.
It's like a campfire jam.
Yeah.
That's what I always thought of it.
I didn't actually even know how to play guitar at the time. I just knew like a few chords, and so I was like, what can I write on the guitar? So I was just put together some chords, and I was like in this country mood. I was like, what would I do if I was like in the country right now? I want to bark at the moonlight. So I was like, and I'll bark at the moonlight.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember when I first wrote the guitars, the electric guitars for that song, I was really nervous because I was like, this is completely changing what the song feels like. Went from a campfire country jam to something completely different. And I remember I was nervous to show you what I had come up with. I spent a ton of time on it too. I was like, I'm the kind of guy who'll write about, no exaggeration, I'll write about 20 different riffs for any given chunk of a song, never mind the whole song. And then I'll delete them all after 4 hours and
start over.
Go out to eat or something, and I'll just start over the next day because I'm so indecisive about the stuff that I come up with. But by the time I show you something, it actually, it actually means something to me. And I remember the first time showing you, you're sitting on the red couch, and I just played you the song. And I'm just kind of like sitting there, like listening. You were behind me, so I wasn't like I wasn't watching your reactions. I was just like. But I think ultimately you liked it. You're like, this is nothing like what I imagined, but it's pretty cool. I won't say a whole lot about the lyrics of Cloud Atlas. I will say, go watch the movie directed by the Wachowskis and Tom Twyker. I think that's how you say his name. And go read the book Free Will by Sam Harris.
We are all gonna die.
It's just a matter of time before it all comes down.
This one was the most debated. We wanted to kick it off the record a bunch of times, and we didn't even have a name until the very, very, very last couple days of the mixing and mastering process.
Like 12 seconds ago, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think I named it.
It was unnamed for me, and he was like, we had code names for all our songs that were unfinished.
Yeah, I didn't know what to name the project. I think you had recorded, and you didn't save the project or something, and I'm like, well, I was going to use the computer, so I needed to save the project, so I just named it Flowers and Trees. That's
and it has stuck for years.
Yes.
That's the like advice. Anytime you're gonna just codename something, make sure you like it, or else it will be with you. I mean, we've called it Flowers and Trees for literally the past 3 years.
Yep. Nope.
Just that little riff. Rolling hills and greener grass.
Rolling hills and greener grass. The sky is moving oh so fast. Oh, I wish that you could see the kites are flying.
So here's why we called it We're All Gonna Die. The song is really interesting. It paints two different pictures. One, it paints a picture of paradise and of euphoria and of a truly free world rooted in peace.
The other picture it paints is the reality behind it all is that this whole experience is transient and we're all going to die. It's kind of like a dance song, which I really love.
Yeah.
It's got a dance vibe to it, which really brings to life the message in a musical sense. So you don't even need to listen to the lyrics to know what they're saying, to feel the experience of impermanence, everything being temporary. Mm-hmm. Whether it's something that you crave, something that you desire, it's temporary. It's something that you hate, something that you're averse to, it's temporary. This too shall pass. That song is kind of like a roller coaster, passing from one moment to the next, and every moment arising, passing away, and I love how it turned out.
Chocolate bars have my heart. Hated you just fart. I'm moving, I'm shaking, I'm shining.
One night, I remember I was making a smoothie or something upstairs, because I was in the kitchen. I know I was in the kitchen. And I just hear you doing some classical on the piano downstairs. I was like, what the heck is he doing?
Because we were doing Bloom. It was like Bloom nights, and he's like, why are you wasting time?
Yeah. I was thinking like, oh man, he's getting on some side tangent. Like, we need to get this album done, And I'm just hearing this.
The day before, I was like, dude, we gotta use a Rising. Like, we're putting it on the record.
And I was not.
He's like, dude,
this song is just lame. I just don't like it. So yeah, anyway, that's how I felt about it.
And then, so I changed the bridge and showed him, and he looks at me. He's like, this is probably my favorite song on the record right now.
That's what I said.
Rising is one of those flukes that just was not even planned or talked about, and at the last second. That's how Dare You was too.
Oh yeah, incidentally.
Stand With Me was probably the first of its kind in terms of considering any new song for another album.
Yeah, we had this, so we had Photosynthesis, which for the most part was a collection of songs that you had written.
Yeah.
I mean, you wrote every one of those songs, ultimately, but I just mean you had already had them.
Yeah, they were already together, and we're like, let's do it. We got together as a band, and then a month later we went and did a record kind of thing.
Right. We
just wanted to put some music out.
And then we had what we called Bloom 2.0, which the world still hasn't heard yet. It was a full album. It was a full album, and it was pretty cool. There's still some songs on there I really like, and a few of them that kind of got reincarnated into this album. But we had that Bloom 2.0, and we jammed that thing for, a year. We just didn't ever produce it or do anything with it. And then Stand With Me. You wrote Stand With Me, and I was like, this is Bloom 3.0. This is the direction.
Oh, my baby, come and stand with me, come and stand with me, my baby doll. Baby doll, come and stand with me, oh, come on, baby doll. Ho!
How I wonder, where has life gone? Look in the mirror, afraid to die alone. Well, this wrinkled body.
So Gray Everlasting.
Oh man, Gray Everlasting. So my grandpa, he had Alzheimer's and he died a few years ago, and Gray Everlasting was this, I'll never forget this image of him. He was always happy. He was actually one of the most inspirational people in my life. He'd always anytime someone would walk into a room, he'd look at them and he'd be like, oh, what a beautiful morning! And he was just always big personality.
That's awesome.
And there was this moment where he was being taken care of by my aunt, Joanne. But he was crying because he was just so ashamed. He was so ashamed of his state. Because he was just like, of all the life I've lived, I can't believe this is the state I'm in. And so I wrote this song as a tribute to him, Gray Everlasting, about how life changes.
How I wonder, where has life gone? I look in the mirror, afraid to die alone. I'll give you my love.
Another thing about Gray Everlasting, it has one of my all-time favorite Jeremy Finley vocal moments.
Oh, my
boy. So that whole climax, and you're like, yeah, can I be reborn or something more? Yeah, you got it. I love it. It's like my favorite. It's probably seriously my favorite vocal moment on the album.
This song is about just and creating space for fate and for inspiration.
And that's really what happened with Breeze, because when I was writing the guitar for it, I was like, I don't freaking know what to do here, because this song
is kind of a random song.
This is kind of random. It's kind of weird. And that riff came through, and it's particularly special to me because Mari and I went and we saw one of our favorite bands, VIP style Tool. It's like her all-time favorite band. It's really up there for me, but in the top 5. And we got to meet the guitarist, Adam Jones, and he passed around his guitar at one point. But I had the audacity to take it and jam it a little bit. And I played that Breathe riff because I had just barely written it, like I think the night before. On his guitar before I passed it. So I'll always remember that. And now you will too. I had a great friend and mentor of mine, one day I was facilitating an event, and I was just scared out of my freaking mind to get up there. I was doing a section of this event that I'd never done before. It wasn't then that I had this conversation with him. It was after that experience. I said, does that feeling ever go away? Like, do you ever stop feeling that intense anxiety just before you dive into an intense experience? And he said, no, it doesn't. He said, fear never goes away. You just get more comfortable stepping through it. And that stuck with me. I mean, in many ways, that actually completely transformed my life. Because anytime I was confronting fear and I was confronting this paralyzed feeling, this frozen feeling, it's like, you know what? This feeling will always be there. There's no way for me to conquer this fear. There's no way for me to slay it, and overcome it and become better than it is. It's going to be there. It's going to be there in some way, shape, or form for the rest of my life. So I might as well make friends with it. I might as well dance with it. I might as well get comfortable stepping through it.
I feel like a slow and steady dose of love that I feel. Blisters fall around my heart, and I feel those blood slide. Yeah.
To Breaking Bad.
To Breaking Bad. This is by far the most explorative song Josh and I have ever written together. This song was entirely created out of detaching from all preconceived writing modalities.
Not only was it like this really cool experimental piece, if it wasn't the most collaborative effort, it was one of the most collaborative efforts on the album. And in the spirit of collaboration, like we really worked with a lot of musicians. We brought a lot of musicians in on this project because it was really freaking fun to do.
Yeah.
More than anything, like, me and Jeremy, we could sit and we could pump out songs and stuff, but you really turn an idea into something special when you collaborate with other people. Taylor Orton, my cousin, he's the drummer for I Am the Ocean and Settle Down, and he's done a bunch of other projects. When we went to go record Breaking Bad, he comes in with this 3 floor toms, 3 ride cymbals, and his hi-hat was made of crash cymbals. Because he's a really, really aggressive player, and he hits the drums like really, really hard, and I'm like, what the heck? What is this? It gives that song like this really, really interesting, dark, intense, heavy, loud vibe. That's just exactly what I'm talking about. In the spirit of collaboration, like bringing them in and doing that was just like perfect, and it turned the song into something that I think is truly, truly special and unique. So.
What will they say after I'm gone? Is there something wrong with just being me? Why must I?
So yeah, The Fault in Our Stars, we kind of reincarnated it into a version that's closer to the way that I always imagined it being. At the very end of this new version, we just like went full out with that metal riff and just like.
Imagine if we still did that. Imagine if we still kept that, dude. Fault in our stars.
I was considering keeping it because if you've ever read the book, or seen the movie now at this point, one of the fictional characters inside the story dies in the middle of a sentence. And having this heavy metal ending kind of conveyed that experience in a way. It was like the song's going along and it feels a completely different way, and suddenly it busts into this metal thing like, holy what is going on? And it's sort of like experiencing the feeling of death. And ultimately, I decided to cut it, but it was really fun to make, really fun to write.
Hope for the Heart is a song that is hard for me to even talk about because it's so personal. And I think some of those things that are so personal are worth sharing because it gives us permission to feel and to be okay about what we feel.
I never thought I would cave, oh, and confess the mistakes I ever made. Scared to believe in love and give it.
Incidentally, the song Aftermath was an afterthought, and then Jeremy had the crazy idea of tacking a poem that I wrote on the end of it, and still makes me uncomfortable.
And we did it.
The fact that it's there makes me uncomfortable.
Yes. We had to share it. I mean, it's really vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the most vulnerable thing I've ever shared publicly, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bloom on!
Yeah.
Hey bro, how's the new album coming along?
Dude, there's like a moment on this album that's like really special and we're really excited to show the fans. Why don't you show everyone?
A little demo here.
Do it again, I was laughing through it. Do it again.
Alright.
Oh yeah!